Hello and welcome to Console Accessories, and on today's video we're going to be looking at these three, which are alternatives to this, which is your Joycon holder. Okay, so when you say alternatives to Joycon holder, a lot of people say, why don't you just get a Pro controller? And yeah, I've got a Pro controller here and it is fantastic and it's really good. However, as with a lot of things, it's about $50 to $60 or around £60 in the UK. And that's quite a lot. Not everyone can afford one of these just for a controller. So I've picked out these three because, I mean, I use this every once in a while. I know my kids use this to put their Joy-Cons in when they're playing, and it's fantastic. It's just I've got three alternatives here and I want to go through them with you. Okay, so let's put these two aside and we're going to start off with this one. So there's the Pro controller and here are my Joy-Cons. And what we'll do is, I've got another camera, so I'll put the camera up there every so often, just to show you whether the Joy-Cons are charging or not, because that's quite an important thing for all of these. And speaking of charging, this one is my Hori stick, that's the Zelda theme. We're going to put that to one side because no matter what you do, if this isn't on the switch, it ain't working. So it ain't going to work in one of these, it ain't going to work in any of these. So we'll put that to one side. So if you have got one of these, it won't work. Okay, so starting off then is we're going to use this one, the 5-in-1 connector pack from Fox, and I thought it looked quite good, although it's not really 5-in-1, it's 4-in-1 technically. 5, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and they've counted that as 2. Fine, fair play. Okay, and when you open it up, you've got your 2 bits there. You've got your angled bit, your big bit, and your small bit. Now, you can pick up these for around, you can get Power A ones, which are third-party ones, for about $10 or £10. So I'm kind of comparing it to this, and if it's around this price, it's got to add something better. Now this 5-in-1 is $12 or £13, so it's a little bit more expensive, but let's see what you get. Okay, so that bit. That bit. That bit, and then these are the 2 bits here. Okay, so pretty self-explanatory. What you do is you put them on there like that. Okay, and that is just simply a flat bit of plastic. Great. Okay, so very light. I mean, properly light. Let's get this on so we can start weighing these. And that's going to be 31 grams, nothing. And this is essentially a bigger version. So you can use this, if you've got 2 people, you could use these for 2 people. But yeah, not much to say about that. Okay, it's essentially just a bit of plastic with some LEDs on there that just shows you it's connected, because these won't charge your Joy-Cons. But this one's quite interesting. This one's at a bit of an angle, so it's a little bit different. So yeah, it's comfy because it's at a little bit of an angle, which is a bit different, isn't it? Fits nicely, but again, not really much to say about that, because it's just a bit of plastic that weighs 34 grams. And then these 2 bits here, so the plus there, so we know that one fits on there, and then that's on there. Now, we've got the official Joy-Con ones. They're quite small, aren't they? These are a bit bigger, so these are quite nice. So these will be good, these are worth it, but again, just a little bit of plastic. So, in terms of usefulness, I think absolutely useful, because if you've got 4 switches in the house, you could be using them and saving yourself a bit, because there's 4 alternatives, but there's just nothing, there really is nothing to them. It's cheap, they're bits of plastic, but then again, it's $12 or 13 quid. Just a bit more than your normal Joy-Con holder. Yeah. So nice, it's a nice alternative. It's a nice alternative, I wouldn't say no. I think if you've got more than one switch, I think you could probably get one of these, but it's not gonna rock anyone's world, is it, these ones? Okay, so that's the 5-in-1 connector pack from Fox. great. Now let's move on. Let's go on to this one. Okay, this is the charging grip from Subsonic. It's obvious what it does. It's a replacement for this, but it can also charge. So let's crack this open. And the thing I like about this is this. It comes with a USB-C cable and it's 3 meters long. That's superb. So you can have it kind of, your dock can be 3 meters away. Yeah, really good. And then here it is. Now let's compare it to this one, shall we? So as you can see, it's quite a bit bigger. So the central bit isn't, because it's obviously got to hold the Joy-Cons, but look at the grips. That's excellent. I really like that they're bigger. Much more comfier. In my adult hands, that is just much comfier. And then on top, that's where your charging goes. Okay, so let's whack some Joy-Cons on. These, as you can probably hear, that these are attached to my Switch already. And as we can see up there, they're not charging at the minute. It's got a USB-C here. Just plug that in. There we go. So it's charging straight away. So you can be sat here, you can be playing it, and it will be charging at the same time. Those indicators there will say whether it's charging or whether it's fully charged, and then you've got your standard 4 LEDs down there to say whether you're 1, 2, 3 or 4. This feels lovely. Now this one is, I can't find it in the US at the minute. There are probably other ones, because there is kind of like an official one from PowerA, and that's $23 or £25. But this one from Subsonic I found on Amazon for £14, and I can't find it in the States. I will keep looking, and I'll post a link down below of where you can get it in the States. But at the moment it's £14, which is nearly 10 quid cheaper than the official one. And it feels okay. That I just love the fact that it's bigger, that you can wrap your hands around it. I really like that. And it feels, it's quite fairly light. I mean, it doesn't, if I took it off and then we have a look again, it doesn't charge. It's got to have this plugged in. But you can still use it and plug it in at the same time, so that's good. So let's take these out and let's get this weighed, see how much this weighs. And we can compare it to this one, can't we? So that's 99 grams, 96 grams, okay, so virtually the same, probably just for the added plastic in there, but I much prefer this. Even if this didn't have the charging on it, I would use this over the official one, just because it just feels comfortable, just feels lovely. Really pleased with this. This is the charging grip from Subsonic, and the fact that it comes with a 3 meter cable, it's winning in my book. That's a cracker. Really pleased with that one. And finally, moving on, we have this one here. Now this is the Multifunction Joy-Con grip. Okay, so if you can work out what it does on the front there, great. If not, we'll go through it and I'll just show you what it does. So let's crack it open. There we go. So what this is kind of like a modular design. I think it's superb. Okay, so it feels a bit light, to be honest with you. So 101, so it's about the same as the other one, and this bit is your kind of your modular bit. I'll show you that what it does in a second, but that's only 30, so it's not too bad. What it is, there's a button on the back here that you press, and this kind of middle bit comes out. So when you press it, okay, this bit comes out. So this is your stock, and then you've got these two bits here. So what it does is you fit your Joy-Cons on there, and as you can see, it doesn't charge it, but it's got one of those, so there we go. So it started charging, and then you've got some LEDs on there that say that whether the Joy-Cons are charged or not, and they will go progressively green once they are. And then your LEDs on the top there, just to show you whether you're connected to 1, 2, 3 or 4 as a standard with the Joy-Cons. That's not the best bit. When you flip it over, it's got this extra bit there, and that fits into this bit of this controller. So do is you put it on there like that, you see that, put it in that groove, push it down, there we go, and you've got yourself pretty much a version of this, or a version of this, with the controller on it. And let's have a look at the grips, because we were saying about how nice these grips are. They're a little bit smaller, but they're still fairly big for my adult hands, which is great. So it feels nice and comfy. And then when you want to play, there we go, so charges. And if you can hear that, the Joy-Cons are connected so you can play and charge at the same time. Okay, well that's them all. Pressing your button on the back there and pulling this bit out. Take these bits off. So then when you've got your one controller and you're using it, maybe two people, or you're using it for something else of the game that requires it, you've got this extra bit. Again, it's got that bit on the back, that bit on there. You slide that in and then you pop your Joy-Con in there. And then you've got these big old flappy buttons on the top there to press the top two buttons, so L and R. You can see that. So if you can see that in there, here you go, just in there you can see it pressing the button, and in there as well. There you go, like that. And you've got virtually what it was like with this and with the official one, but you've got it there. It's a bit of a reach to get these buttons, I'll admit that, but it's so much more comfy than just using it. I mean, this is just, I've always found this difficult. I've always found this a problem for me. This eliminates that. Boom, 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 boom. Love it. And then when you want to take it out, you've got to kind of pull the Joy-Con out. So that's why there's a gap there. You can't put this in and then slide it in because of the triggers there. So you have to slide it in first, then put your Joy-Con in, and you're in. These big old buttons. Really pleased with this. I think this is fantastic. So if I show you, I can't really show you because I can't. So if I press that button and try and push this out, it doesn't work. So you have to use this grip here and pull out the Joy-Con. But it's not hard, although it keeps it in there nicely. So this is the Multifunction Joy-Con grip. And this costs $19 in the US that I found. That's quite a lot. But in the UK, it's only £7, okay? If you're looking for a Joy-Con alternative, don't get an official one, or don't get the official charging one at £25. Get this bad boy. This just does everything. I can't see why you wouldn't. I haven't tested it long term, so I don't know I'm assuming the PowerA is going to be better quality, but I just love the modular design. And that's just superb. And it charges. So this is great if it's just one of you, and I'd probably say for the States you can't get this one anyway, but for the UK it's £14. You can get two of these for the price of that, and you can get three of these for the price of one of these. So this is great. I really, really like this. When this came, I was a bit like, okay, well, we'll see. I didn't quite sure. When you look at the box, you think, okay, that fits nicely. But when you actually got it in practice and you're playing with it, it's great. I hope it lasts. I hope it lasts as long as I want it to. I want it to last quite a few months if it can, and I'd like to take it a bit of abuse if it can, because it's quite light. But it's really good. I'm really pleased with this. Okay, so there's all three. There was the 5-in-1, which was okay. I think that's good if you've got a lot of switches in the household, because you can all have one bit and then you don't need to keep forking out, and that's $12 or £13. The charging grip's good. I can't find it in the US, but in the UK it's £14, and it comes with a 3-meter cable, which is always nice. And then we've got the Multifunction Joy-Con grip, which is my favourite by far. £7 in the UK, no brainer, or $19. For all of them, I'll leave a link down in the description below where you can pick one up. If you've got any questions, please do pop them down. I'll happily answer them all. I'm going to be keeping all of these, so if you've got any questions, I'll happily link them up and do some bits and bobs with them just to test out if you've got any questions. Absolutely no problem at all. Let me know in the comments below. And finally, stick a thumbs up, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button. It'd be really appreciated. And do let me know if you're going to pick any of these up or if you've got any of them. I'll be really interested to know. Okay, thanks very much then. Until the next video. Bye-bye.